You're listening to the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast, brought to you by Referral Mortgages and Blue Panda Realty, with your hosts, Paul Stevenson, David Warren, and Greg Campbell. Let's see what's going on in the world of real estate in our nation's capital.
Hello! Welcome back to the Ottawa Real Estate Podcast. It is the end of 2021, and that means there's only one thing left to do.
You're waiting for my laugh. It's not coming.
Get ready for 2022. How's it going, gentlemen? How is it going? My name is, how's it going, listeners? My name is Paul Stevenson. I'm here with Greg Campbell. I'm here with David Warren. We got the whole squad back in the building. We wanted to finish the year strong, but I'll give a quick shout out before we get started to North Brew, our coffee sponsor. I'm going to take a sip of my Java. Northbrew.ca. If you use the code word podcast, you'll get 20% off your coffee orders, and 20% of your coffee order goes to support local homeless shelters. So it's a very, very good time of year to support not only North Brew, but to support our local homeless individuals. And also, I want to let everyone know, if you're listening, subscribe, give a review. Spotify. If you're listening on Spotify, I'm going to call Spotify out. If you're listening right now on Spotify, pause it, give us a review, continue listening.
Only good reviews.
Only good reviews.
And if you're also listening on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. We need reviews.
Ratings, reviews. Come on.
We want to level up. We want to level up for 2022, everybody. So please help us get to that next level. We appreciate your love. My wife, and actually, my wife right now is mad at me for eating all the falafels.
Oh, why would you do that?
I ate all the falafels. I was hungry. Everyone was sleeping. I had to eat the falafels.
Falafel. I was going to make a snuffleupagus joke out of falafels, but it didn't work.
She's blushing now. She's blushing and giving me the finger.
Amazing. Merry Christmas,
For those of you that don't know, my wife does the intro and outro for the show. So that's what I'm dealing with right now.
So 2021.
She does it live every week, right, Greg? She does it when we roll the intro. She's in the background there.
That's right.
Just waiting, sitting in front of the mic. How was the weekend, gentlemen?
Oh, amazing. What did we do this weekend? I saw you, Paul. I saw, what day was that? Saturday?
That was Saturday, yeah, before the snowstorm.
Yeah. Our girls sang at the office. We had a little get together. That was fun. They sang, and we got some photos about that. Maybe the listeners can see that later if they actually care about that. But that's what I did on Saturday, and then yesterday we had a little get together at another friend's house. So it's been nice. It's been nice. Now this week is just kind of get ready to leave the cottage. Yeah, that's my life right now.
I like it.
Thanks, guys.
We David, how was your weekend before we get into the whole year?
Good.
Been quite a year for everyone, I think.
Yeah, mine was good. Nothing too much. Pretty laid back. Couple of friends over yesterday evening. Hung out. Met the bebe, and had a couple glasses of vino, and it was a good time.
That's great.
And Paul, I know what you did on Saturday. So what did you do yesterday? Why don't you tell us all?
I took it easy yesterday. I went for a beautiful walk in the snow.
He was supposed to come over to my place, but he wasn't feeling. He was feeling a little under the weather and didn't want to.
I actually feel much better today. I think, between just feeling run down and talk to a lot of people and see a lot of people, I just had a little under the weather. I said I'm not gonna bring it on other people. So I'm back. I'm back today. Tomorrow I'll be 100%.
Intro the show. Sometimes people don't think, they must think we don't do anything. You guys are always chilling.
Yeah, just at home doing nothing.
It's ridiculous.
So 2021 was a hell of a year across the board. So we figured, to end the year, it's our last episode of the year. We do a year in the numbers and see, what was assumed to happen and what actually did happen, and what our predictions are for 2022. And we had a couple listeners that reached out that was pretty awesome. Shout out to Henry. Henri.
Shout out to Henry.
He sent us an image yesterday saying that we were one of his top his top podcast on Spotify.
His number one podcast on Spotify.
Number one podcast.
It's very cool.
So if anyone else is doing their wrapped up, is that what they call it on Spotify? Or wrapped up? And we're one of your top podcasts, send us a photo on any social media platform. We'll get you guys a mug. I know Greg's going to get Henry a mug. We'll get some Christmas cheer out.
Yeah, I am doing some drive-bys on Wednesday this week. So if anybody reaches out after this episode, block is hot, homie.
Greg's gonna be just shooting mugs out of his window.
I'll be rolling. I'll be rolling with my toe wrap mugs, ready to deliver. So yeah, just holler at me and I'll do a drive-by.
So
you'll get mugged.
Greg doing drive-bys and mugging people.
That's Christmas.
That's what it is.
So let's go back. Let's do a little time travel back to January 2021. I don't even remember what was going on. Pent-up demand fuels January surge in Ottawa housing market, says the real estate board. So we saw, I told you guys this, but I bought last December, right before stuff just went wild. And then January, it's coming back to me now. January was pretty chaotic. The market was through the roof. Literally every offer was, 15 to 20 offers, no conditions on anything. And that was basically the landscape in January.
Yeah. Average price in January was $606,000.
Wow. Seems so moderate.
Yeah. That's the combo, right? Detached and condos together, like everything. But yeah.
Yeah, I know at the end of last year, everyone was unsure of what was going to happen. Believe it or not, things were shut down similar to how they are right now, last December, which is hard to believe. And we were unsure of what was going to come in January with regards to the real estate market. And lo and behold, it exploded. So, where do you guys feel that things are going currently? Greg, I know you have current numbers as well, but just off the top of the dome, where do you feel the market is right now? I know we've seen it bounce out a bit, and where do we see it going with new restrictions, risk of kids not going back to school, everything basically, a bit of a deja vu from last December. Where do you guys see things going in January?
I think it's going to go up. I think it's going to balance out, but it's going to go up a bit. The predictions are 5 to 10% this year for 2022. Which is impossible for it not to, based on immigration and lack of supply, which we all know. I was talking to somebody about this last night, but yeah, I think it's going to go up. The only thing that can really stop it or slow it down, I think, is people just not wanting to compete if they're out shopping and just waiting. But that's only going to, I don't know how long that's sustainable. For example, on a listing I had last week, we had 22 showings, and I think we had 23 people through the open house, and we got 2 offers, and so that was a sign that, maybe not everybody is ready to compete. We were kind of surprised on that. And I also talked to somebody else who had a similar scenario. Unless the home is 1000% perfect move-in ready, then it's still going to get like absolute top dollar. We've talked about that a million times. So I don't know. But we'll know the second week in January is usually the kickoff, where either the inventory that hasn't sold is just going to start going like that suddenly. And we're going to have people waiting to list their properties based on the first ones selling in January, kind of like setting the standard. So we'll see. I'm optimistic. I've got a couple listings that aren't easy sells. And I'm convinced that one of them is going to be exactly that. I think it's going to kickstart the year for condos anyways. We'll see.
I think there's going to be a continued issue with supply chain for developments. So I think the new builds are still going to be even more delayed. We've seen them push back by a year. People that signed purchase agreements expecting a place, sometime in 2022, I think those will be pushed to 2023 or beyond. And that supply, like Greg said, is going to be delayed even further, which is just going to pent up demand for resale. I think that 5% will be I think it'll be much higher than 5% as far as a gain in value. I'd be surprised if if it was a 5% across the board only, just based on the growth of Ottawa. If they open up immigration at all, like the downtown core values won't continue to increase like they have, because people are going to be still at lockdown, like we're going back into, and want more space. So I think the Orleans and Canadas and Barhaven will still continue to thrive. People wanting more home offices or things like that.
Well, I think we saw last time. I think we saw last time too, when people were at home, that they're then thinking of, investment ideas. What do we want to do in 2022? People are thinking of a little more proactive, maybe about financial investments and so on. So that actually, I think people being at home actually made them probably analyze their living situation more, which we know, their living space. Do I want to move? Maybe we should move now. It gets people talking and keeps the market kind of active, I think, even though no one's going out, everyone's still inside their home wondering, is this where we want to be? Is this the house we want to live in?
Yeah. And I also think that whole government plan of 100,000 homes in 25 is going to be 0 homes with everything going on. I don't think they're going to do any homes, to be honest. I think it's all going to be private sector.
I think the pandemic will be the excuse to have not done it. One thing I am interested to see them launch and see what the uptake is of it, but they are going to be launching the TFSA, the savings plan for first-time home buyers, which I think will be interesting. We'll see how that's adopted and what that does roll out and look like. But yeah, as far as new government, rolling out any new affordable housing or actually building anything, that's not. I'll be shocked.
You're with me.
I'll be shocked if there's one unit.
Yeah, exactly. What a time to be alive in Canada.
Yeah,
in the Kingdom of Canada.
I know.
Go ahead. It's okay.
I was going to say, I know there's been a lot of talk. Speaking of Canada, I've been kind of tuning into the parliamentary discussions recently. And there's been a lot of talk about inflation and, home prices being driven up since this government taken over by, X 100% and so on. Where do you guys, I know, Dave, you've pretty on top of this, but where do you see kind of inflation heading, and what do you think are kind of the main impacts affecting that currently?
I mean, it's all for inflation right now. I think it's be really hard for the Bank of Canada and governments around the world to really tame inflationary numbers. I mean, as things keep getting locked down around the world, supply chain issues keep becoming an issue, and that's where your groceries and your home goods and cost of oil, for gas in your car, all go up, and that's what inflation is made up of is your basic necessities. I don't know. There's we got Omicron right now. Places in Europe locking down again, all around the world. This is just going to snowball and create again more backlog where they haven't been able to catch up since early 2020 lockdowns. So I think it's only going to get worse. I think, there will be a few increases to prime next year, like they've been saying. I think it'll be, there's some saying 3, some saying as high as 11. 11 is just absolutely ludicrous. I don't know what that guy's smoking. That's 1 a month. There's just absolutely no way. I think it'll be 2 to 3 increases in prime in 2022, especially, but prime doesn't, Bank of Canada prime doesn't, any change to that is not locked in for inflation. So your cost of groceries are still going to be high, coming from other parts of the world. Your oil is still going to keep, skyrocketing. So I think it'll be really hard for them to tame everything until, the pandemic kind of lifts and these restrictions or lockdowns are lifted for a very extended period of time, for any of these costs of living to go down. And it's really sad because, they even said they're predicting the cost of groceries for the average household to be $1,000 more in 2022, over what it is.
15,000 for a family of 4 to feed their family for the year.
And that's $1,000 over what it is now, for your average family. There's going to be a lot of food insecurity, like for people not being able to feed their families, and that's just going to drive all other aspects. So
like I was in a grocery store recently, and I was like purposely looking, just assessing. Like typically, you keep an eye on prices, you look for sales and so on, but it was mind blowing, the prices. Like even just a very like the basic, what is that? Like the can of tomato sauce, like the actual can, not even a nice jar or anything, like the basic can. It's on the bottom shelf. It's usually like 99 cents.
Yeah.
I can't think of the company name right now, but it was like $2.99 for just a basic can. So, even if you want to just give your kids, literally pasta and sauce, it's still $7-8 where it used to be $2. Yeah. And a carton of mushrooms, like with like 12 mushrooms in it, $5. Like it's becoming, it's increasingly more challenging just to have like a healthy meal that you can give your family at an affordable price. No, I don't have a solution here. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing,
But I think all of that plays into affordability on, what people can afford for housing, what people can afford for rent. So it'll be interesting to see how that ripples into the real estate market of, people won't be able to, as those prices keep going up, that affects rent. Prime going up, that increases, people on variable mortgages, student lines of credit, student loans, that all increases, which hits your bottom line and people's individual cash flow. But, so typically that slows down the market of spending. But when you've got grocery and your basic necessities so high, that's what's driving inflation. Like people still need to eat. People still need these aspects. So raising prime, many, many times is really just going to significantly harm the general population. Not being able to afford basic necessities. So I think I think the increases in prime will be on the lower end. I think it'll be, 2 to 3, especially as we're starting the year off in such a crappy fashion, with these, new measures across the country and across the world. So I think it'll be, really deja vu all over again.
There's one thing I always forget to mention, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day, that how we have all these people that are like, when the market crashes, when I'm going to wait until it crashes. We always talk about this. It's never happened. But the thing that they forget is, like, for the market to crash in the way that they're thinking, it kind of means that if the market's crashing, that the interest rates have gone up. But then if the interest rates go up and the prices go down, it's the same price. Like they're paying. You're getting less home for more money. So it's you're going to pay more and get less. Yeah. To think like the dream of prices dropping and the interest rates staying the same, it's impossible. So it's like, I was talking to somebody about it yesterday, and they were like, I don't understand what people are thinking about. Like if it goes down, if prices went down like 100,000, the interest rate would be like 15% or something like that. 20%, like it would just balance out, just like how, condo versus freehold when you buy, like, implementing the condo fee on top of that for your mortgage. But anyways, I find it interesting the way people's perception sometimes. And I don't know, like, I mean, I think the market's going to balance out. Inflation's may put a pause on things a bit, but there's too many people coming here. There's too many people still coming to Canada, right?
I mean, especially within Ottawa, people forget in town here that we have we said it before earlier in the year, but we have the second highest average household income in Canada is in Ottawa. Where we have a larger average household income than Vancouver, than Toronto. And those markets, you get a 600 square foot condo in St. Lawrence market area for $700,000, the price of our average price of our detached homes in Ottawa. So people to think that we can't go up in value is, I don't know where that is coming from when you look at the actual income levels and average income in Ottawa with the types of employment that we have and variety of types of employment. So certainly, values will continue to go up. And like you said, Greg, if values plummeted, rates would be sky high. And if it came down and rates go up 2%, but the values come down $100,000, you're going to actually be paying more in the long run for that home. Yeah. And between interest costs and all that. So
and it'll be harder for you to borrow because the lenders will be looking at it more aggressively, even more aggressively than they do now.
Yeah.
They'll be like, do I really want to loan this person this money? No.
And actually that does remind me of something that you just saying that, Greg, for people that are sitting on the sidelines, they have been talking about this week of increasing the stress test level. So right now, when you're qualifying for a mortgage, you're not qualifying at the rate of that mortgage or what that interest rate is on that mortgage. You're qualifying right now at a stress test rate of 5.25%. So your rate might be a variable at, prime minus 1%. So 1.45% right now, but you're qualifying as if your mortgage payments are 5.25%. So people that are buying a home, you can afford as if you're paying 5.25%. Now that they're talking about, they just increased that this past year from 4.74 to 5.25%. And they decided last week to keep that 5.25% this as it is, but there's talk that they're going to increase that if they feel the market is increasing too quickly for them in different areas, that they will do that to try and dampen the housing market as well. So for those of you sitting on the sidelines, you might qualify for less of a house as well in the coming months, just simply based on them adjusting that. So just to kind of be aware of as you're waiting for the market to crash.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're the end of December. It's like, it actually breaks my brain to kind of think about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like we're like still August, September. Like we got a bit of the year left, the year just flew by. It's pretty crazy. And like you said, where are home prices currently? I know you said 606 in January. What's the current? Average?
So, 606 in January. In April, it was the highest at 686 or 687, I should say. September, 664. Right now we're at an average of 612. So
really?
That's interesting to see. So like they're down quite a bit from what they were in April. But I mean, we all know that, April, May were like, April, May, June was like crazy months, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So since then, and I mean, we spoke about it before, it was like, it turned into more of a traditional summer market, which was interesting. So, September, October kicked up a bit, but now we're, there's a lot of people just kind of taking a break. I mean, I'm ready for a break.
It goes to show you too, though, that shopping in winter is a good idea as well. They before that lift off into the spring and summer market, that people hold off looking at places in the winter for because they can't see the lawn or whatever it may be. But it's always you can find some really good deals and get ahead of that upward curve.
You can find good deals, and if you've got a great home, you can get a good price for it. With no competition. I mean, one of my videos on Real Estate Reality, I was promoting the crap out of it last couple of weeks, just selling over the holidays on YouTube and Facebook. But if anyone wants to check that out, selling over the holidays, you can go to Real Estate Reality, Greg Campbell. It's one of my top videos there.
But all things considered, like we were talking about, Dave, you mentioned the supply and demand issue. And I mean, we know, and we've talked about, like, immigration to Ottawa does not slow down, right? People continue to move to Ottawa, which is great. Population continues to grow. The amount of homes that are available is fairly stagnant because, builders are delayed and supplies are delayed and everything is delayed. So, there's no better time to buy, I don't think, than right now, especially prices have come down a bit this year. If you're listing your home and you're worried that there isn't going to be interest, I think to your point, Greg, like if you have a home that's turnkey and ready to go, people are going to pay top dollar for that because there's always people looking. It's just a lot of people don't want to do, the extra work or replace the washroom or update this, update that. So I would say from my experience, it's almost better to do those small updates before listing so that it is turnkey, because there are some people that are going to be, even if it's, say, half the people that come through, they're going to be deterred by having to do that additional work, right? Especially going into the winter and things like that. So I think it's a great opportunity for sellers to get top dollar if you have a beautiful home, and for buyers, there's opportunities everywhere because, like Dave said, you might not be able to see the lawn, but you can, gauge the neighborhood, gauge where prices are at, even kind of have some vision as to what you might be able to do to update it, to kind of force that appreciation over the coming months leading into the summer. And just don't sell it and flip it and get dinged with tax like we talked about a few weeks ago. Staying home for a year.
Yeah. And for those, and again, based on the numbers that I just gave everybody, like for the people waiting for the market to crash, like, is this your crash? Like April 686, November 612? Is that the crash you're waiting for? So then why are you waiting?
Down 8%. Get in there.
That's a huge drop. Go buy something. Because anyways, it's a good time. It's a good time. Yeah,
guys, I feel like ending 2021, we gotta leave with some good vibes. We gotta leave with some good energy here.
Say this has been a downer of an episode.
Yeah, such a downer. Everyone's gonna be sitting there, booze, drinking. We got zero energy to our show.
We're not. Holy shit!
But it's a good sign. We're just all like, oh my god, it's time for a break.
I think it's also the fact that restrictions have come into place this past weekend.
For sure.
Where everyone is. I know I'm very much fatigued with this. But I think that's also reverberating to our energy on this show.
Yeah. For sure it is.
Yeah.
Hard not to.
Speaking of which, though, with all these restrictions, restaurants, local businesses, kind of their capacity is limited. They're really, if you're finishing off your Christmas shopping this week or starting it, go visit your local shops, your small businesses, and support them going into the Christmas holidays, because there's a high likelihood that they might end up being closed shortly after and be hurting. So any of your local businesses on the street corner, whatever it may be, go pick up some goods from them, help them out, or take out from the restaurants. I know they're already pretty worried. Speaking to a bunch of restaurant owners. So
big time. Yeah.
That's my
Paul, what else do you have for us? You had some numbers for us, didn't you? Something else?
No, wow, I have lots of mood boosts.
All right, let's get into that. Let's turn this ship around.
Turn the ship around, and we'll get into it. I have some good ones though. I feel like my mood has been soured with this conversation, and I need to boost it. All right. I got a few good ones.
Everybody,
here.
it's gonna be okay. It's gonna
2022 will be the best.
Don't leave a rating. Don't leave a rating based off this episode.
No. If this is your first time listening, wow.
It's actually very informative, though. It's very informative today.
Yeah. Okay, so I got a few good ones here. So number one, we'll continue talking after, but we need some jokes. Well, number one, when I told my contractor I didn't want carpeted steps, they gave me a blank stare.
Love it.
Number two, prison is just one word to you, but for some people, it's a whole sentence. You guys will appreciate this one after yesterday. Scientists got together to study the effects of alcohol on a person's walk, and the result was staggering.
These are great.
I'll give you a few more. I'm trying to organize a hide and seek tournament over the holidays, but good players are really hard to find.
This is the golden moment. You left it.
Yeah.
You left it.
I recently, I didn't tell you guys this, but I recently got over my addiction to chocolate, marshmallows, and nuts. I won't lie, it was a rocky road.
Yep, that's it.
I'll give you one more.
Okay.
What do you say to comfort a friend who's struggling with grammar? There.
Those were the best ones back to back of the year for sure. Good close.
Because we're all depressed. We're just any sort of laughter. We'll take it. 2022. Man. So we all expect January to be fairly busy. I mean, I don't know what to expect. I feel like everyone is caught in this weird web of uncertainty, and it's certainly challenging to navigate. Like between planning, between like getting excited, between just like overall, approach to life, I find it frustrating and very challenging. And
ironically,
make
similar
it
to
sense.
last year.
Yeah, make it make sense.
Mm-hmm.
similar to last year, man. I remember going into January not knowing what the hell was going to happen, and then it just exploded, right? So
yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. So for those still listening after this dismal discussion, yeah, I got nothing to say. We got nothing to say.
Thanks for
listening. thanks for listening in 2021.
See you never.
We're gonna be back. We've got some really exciting ideas, actually. All kidding aside, for 2022, we got lots. I mean, I won't get into the specifics, but we have some very creative ideas. We're going to be bringing back lots of new guests, lots of new segments in the new year. We're going to be off until the week of the 10th. We're back on the 10th.
Yeah.
Episode released on the 11th of January. So over the holidays, go back to January of this year and just start there and work all the way through every episode over the holidays. But we should say, I mean, a year in the numbers this year, we do want to say thanks to all of our listeners. You know, we had over 40,000 listens between downloads and streams and so on. So, I mean, I think that's a testament to our listeners and to the information that we're hoping to provide everyone. So next year, we'll continue to be here every week. We'll continue to bring it hard, bring it fast.
Sometime mediocrely.
We want to triple those numbers for 2022. It's totally possible. We're at that point.
Yes. Any closing remarks, gentlemen? 2021 is coming to a close. What do we want to say? This has been a hilarious episode.
Ended off better than this episode. I'll tell you that much.
You know,
we have to just delete this one. We have to just delete it.
No, we'll pin this one. We'll pin this one up to the top. Overall, I had a great year. I mean, I can't really complain. There was a lot of, ups and downs, but I mean, motored through it. I was happy with it. I'm looking forward to next year, but you never know until it starts. Just got to stay positive, stay focused.
Yeah, I feel like I got a bachelor degree in construction this year with the renovations at my home, which took almost 5 months instead of the 1.5 that I was wrongfully assuming.
Budgeting for.
So, I have to say, as far as like, if I'm reflecting on the year, I think it's been a great year of growth, like both with our business, Dave and My's brokerage, but also personally. A lot of positive changes. I'm obviously ending the year in this fashion is frustrating, but overall the year has been a great year of growth, and I'm optimistic that 2022 will be similar. So, just spread love as much as you can. That's all we can really do. Don't keep your head out of the headlines. Keep your heart on the streets. You know what I mean?
Actually, in my in one of my new,
I just made that up, but I like it.
In my and then the video that I did for the Never Enough track is coming out in January, but I have my next song is a lot of it's based on the world, and spread love is one of the things that I repeat in the song. So it made me think of that, man. Spreading love.
I finished an awesome book. I think I actually talked about this a long time ago, but it's called The 4 Agreements. It was pretty powerful. It was like basically 4 rules. So it's basically saying to every human, quick Cole's notes here, every human has basic agreements that they've made with themselves for the fabric of society, that they just, make assumptions on a lot of things. So the 4 rules were essentially to be impeccable with your word, to not take anything personally, to what was the third one? Don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, and always do your best. I feel like if everyone did those 4 things over the holidays, we'll be in great shape going into 2022.
Those are great rules.
Yeah, it's a great book. If anyone
read that book. Yeah.
Anyone send, you know what? If someone, this is how great I feel about this book. If someone sends me a DM or tore up a DM saying, send me the book, I will personally send you a copy of the 4 Agreements. How about that? My Christmas gift to you. So anyone, you hit me up or hit up Toe Rep, say, I want to read that book, Paul. I'll personally send you a copy through Amazon or some form. I'll make sure you get a copy of the book. That's my gift.
I like the assumptions one. Like, how many lives have been ruined over assumptions?
Oh yeah. That was the most impactful one for me, is like, and it was interesting because they said, our brains are basically subconsciously put together a story, right? You tell me one fact and then all these other facts kind of stick onto that line, because we need to have, like, if we to feel safe, we need to know what's happening, right? So we make a bunch of assumptions to put together a narrative, and then we take action based on that narrative, and usually fucks us. So certainly was a reflective chapter, but
All right.
you know, we'll close it out. Just want to say thanks to all of our listeners, obviously, to you guys, to Stephen Hopkins, to North Brew, to everyone that we've had on as a guest this year. I think it's been a great year, honestly, for the show. I think there's a lot of people that see value in what we're bringing, and we'll continue to bring it week in and week out.
We'll bring it.
We'll bring it. Any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
I'm good. Stephen Hopkins, I want to see you pop in there. Can we see your face? Or are you in private time right now?
He's ignoring us.
Yeah.
He's in the dark.
I'm sitting in the dark in my basement doing the show.
Stephen, thanks for everything you've done this year. Honestly, you've really turned the whole show around with your expertise and production. So, from the three of us to you, thank you. And
Brother
to
for
all
the
of our
pastor.
listeners, and for all of our listeners, thank you. Enjoy your holidays. Be safe. Keep your head out of the headlines. Keep your heart on the streets. That's my new saying. Here we go.
Love it.
All right, we'll see you guys in January.
Yeah, love you guys.
Deuces.
The Ottawa Real Estate Podcast is brought to you by Referral Mortgages, Blue Panda Realty, and Stephen Hopkins Video. Thanks for tuning in, and please remember to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. We'd love to hear from you.